Hello everybody, my name is Page, and today I received another package from Republicbricks. Um, let's just check what's in here. First off, what I ordered. Fine, sideways. I got a mystery box, August 27th. So you see, it's some time ago. Now I've bought it like at the beginning of September, so it took a while to arrive, and I got another small one. So let me just open it back up. Since it's a mystery box, I don't know what's going to be inside. So let's just see. First off, I believe this is a Shadow Barc speeder. So, and for the other one, it looks to be the Droid factory. So I'm quite interested. I will build them, and I'll get back to you. Now let's take a bit of a look at how the parts are sorted, because this is currently the biggest one of his custom sets I own. Like, they are sorted in a way, but I don't know how. Let me just lay them out a bit. So, having the pieces all laid out, a bit sorted by color, I didn't see any real bad ones. Like, some were slightly scuffed up. I believe this was one of them. Yeah, it's not that visible on camera, but this was one that was slightly scuffed up a bit. Well, doesn't really matter that much. But for the rest, all the pieces seem to be in fairly great condition. So let me just build it and show you both of the end results. So I have now built the two sets, and first off, I can say let me start off. It took about an hour to finish both of them. It's mostly because seeing black pieces on a black desk is fairly hard. So yeah, let me just start with the Barc speeder and then get into Droid Factory a bit later. So here's the Barc speeder, and it does look fairly good. First off, you have the regular things. The shape looks really cool, and it's simply a Barc speeder, to be honest. Although I do quite like the design, I would have loved to get one that wasn't purely black. So what I'll probably do myself is build like a couple of others which are in different colors. A few things. First thing, these pieces were a lot dirtier compared to the Droid Factory's one. Like, you can't see them on camera, but there were some scratched up, some a bit dirty, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But that's probably because he has a lot of these, and he had a lot of these, so he's probably just trying to get rid of these, which is the reason I got one, I believe. I would have hoped to get another one, but if he didn't have them, that's kind of not per se a scam, but more false advertising. So, but it's probably one he has the most of, so that's the thing. Comparing it to one of official Lego, you can see that about the size is the same, which this is, I suppose, to be fairly accurate scaled. And you see that they are about the same size compared to one another, although I do quite like the shaping underneath of the shadow one, and it looks a bit better. I don't think I prefer it over the official Lego one from, what is it, 2010 or something. So in that case, I think 2010 wins. But comparing it to one of the 2021, I believe, this one, and you also had the one from the 501st Battle Pack, this design is fairly cool, but it's just way too big, and I like them quite smaller, so in that case, this is a better one. I will probably use the design to make a couple of other configurations for my different legions. And here's it. Compared to a minifigure, looks quite cool. And you can, of course, sit a minifigure in there and you have a great thing. The other thing that I want to say is in the design, I hope we can see this quite. In the design, it was said to put these little hands right on these parts. Like this, but then turned a bit. But that doesn't fit. Like, it simply doesn't fit. It should be between there, but I'm stretching the pieces way too much for comfort. So that's something which is disappointing, to have these pieces in the set but not able to connect them in the right way. So that's something for you to, well, have to deal with. That's the Republicbricks. You should probably or remove them because they don't work, to be honest. But next to that, it looks really cool. Quite happy with it. Would have liked another one, but still, definitely not the worst thing I could have gotten. And now we have the Droid Factory. The Droid Factory, to be honest, it looks quite cool. It is, however, smaller than it looked on camera. That's simply like a thing of perspective and everything. Because if I would compare it to a minifigure, which I just knocked over, where are you? Here you are. If I compare it to a minifigure, you can see that it's quite small. So, although this option, first off, isn't the one I wanted the most, it's probably the one I liked the least. Maybe one of the helmet busts would be annoying, but I did have the idea to make it a bit of a backdrop, but I don't think it's big enough for that, to be honest. But let's get into it, and then I'll show you a bit. First off, you have this little droid, which is set on a transparent tile, so you can like hover him above. It looks quite cool. It's the Droid Factory of Attack of the Clones. It's, as far as I know, this was like the thing that carried stuff. It's been quite a while since I watched that movie, but looks okay. It looks fine. It's a droid. Nothing more interesting than that. Now let's get into a bit of the design, and I will start with the big tower, which is the first one they make as design. And did I realize something? Probably not. Could be. I don't know. But for the design, it looks fairly good. It's not anything worth writing home about. Could have done it myself, to be honest. But it gets the design across. You can, by the way, swivel it around on here. To the other side, I do like this green Next Knight shield in purely green, but I'm a bit confused about these controls, because if it isn't minifigure scale, so why would it act like it's minifigure scale? Or is it? No, it's not. It's definitely not minifigure scale, and otherwise, please correct me in the comments. But I believe this is the scene where Anakin loses his lightsaber, where it's been crushed by this thing. So it's quite small, but it looks fairly great. It's like the inside line, the inside conveyor belt. That's the word. So these side buildings, I'm confused why this is so big, by the way, because if it's minifigure scale, I get it, but otherwise, I don't know. For detailing, let's start with functions, by the way, because even though it is a custom set, so you wouldn't want any functions, there are some. Oh, these are not very strong, to be honest, but you have this little slidable tray with pieces of probably droids, to be honest, and you have a bit of a press, which can actually press on there like press them down and smash them and whatever. So that's a fairly nice feature. You can also adjust all of these things, but I don't know why. They're meant to be in this configuration. And you have a bit of structure underneath. Those were the features, by the way. Or, well, there's also this part, which I don't know if you should pull it up and down or what it's supposed to do. Maybe you're like, you should put something on there, but it isn't stated that you should put anything on here. So I don't know, maybe something like this, but it's nowhere it's stated to do that. So that's one thing which Lego instructions do get better, but I'll get into that a bit later. For the detailing, as I said, this tower looks really great. Underneath there are some fairly interesting pieces and techniques. What was wrong with the instructions is that this part was shifted to the side a bit, so it couldn't fit to the instructions, but it's like you search up where the problem is and you think, oh, this is it. Just switch it around a bit and you have a solution. For the rest, it was kind of hard to get this upper tile back on the rest of the build, but it's quite sturdy. Like, it doesn't go anywhere, and it's not a ship, so you won't throw it around. Like, the weakest thing is this upper tower, but it's simply because it's one big thing. It's one thin, so it's basically stacking up on each other. One feature I was forgetting about is this part. You can also press that up and down, but I probably believe that yeah, I don't know why. Never mind. I don't exactly know where that is for. It's been a while since I've watched Attack of the Clones. Then you also get some side things, and let me rearrange for that. As said, you get some small things. You get 2 Technic pins, 3 of these like ingot pieces, silver ingots, which are quite nice to be honest. And you get a crate with nothing in there, simply a crate. For as far as I know, these could have been excluded, especially these pins. I don't know why they included these pins. And the crate, and you also have, by the way, this big bucket which was like full of magma or molten iron or molten metal, and it's full of a lot of these pieces, like a lot of. Still going, still on. Yeah. So yeah, you're paying for those pieces, which is quite honestly a little bit sad because you're paying for a lot of studs, and I in my case have a lot of these studs, so I don't really need any more of them, and it definitely spikes up the cost. But as said, for this set it's like an unreleased one, so it's only available through the mystery box, which is fine, I guess. And that comes down to the price, where the Droid Factory, it's set to be 65 euro, $65. It's set around that price. He says it's that value, and I cannot see that. Even for a custom set, I don't believe that this would be a $65 set. For the price I paid, which is $45 for the mystery box, I can find it understandable. Shipping cost comes to it, so it's a bit worse. And I wanted something else, to be honest, but that's what you get with mystery boxes. Where I don't think this is quite the price, which is probably a reason why he didn't put it out. But then again, it's here, so whatever. For the Barc speeder, which I paid the mystery box, I paid, I believe, $6, €6, something like that. And for that price, I'd say, yeah, it's a great deal. would have been better to get like a Munilist or 501st, not a 5 first, I said 5, not the 5 first because I already have the regular set, but like the 212th or the 332nd or any other color scheme of another Legion, but it's fine getting the black one. And having the Droid Factory, it's quite nice. It's not the best thing, but it was one of the options. Um, there weren't any pieces missing on both the sets, which is quite nice. I did get one extra and had, of course, the 2 clips, which couldn't be put on the Barc speeder, but for the rest, it's a fairly nice experience. So I don't need to complain this time that it was missing pieces. Um, but so for my last thing, should you buy these sets? Well, if you're a fan of custom sets, I say it's a great idea to buy custom sets, and buying from Republicbricks isn't that bad of an idea. The only thing that will be, if it will take quite a time shipping. In my case, it took like a month and a half, which is saying that sometimes it will take longer, and whatever, that doesn't bother me that much. Although I would have liked to have been informed about it. But for the products are mostly in great shape. The instructions were easy to follow. In some cases, it was a bit hard with the Droid Factory because you had black studs and copper studs and no copper and gunmetal gray studs, so it was quite hard to see which one they meant, but nothing a bit of concentration wouldn't work. And the products look great for what they are. Even though they're not my favorite options, they are options, so I haven't been scammed, that's the first thing. And well, I'm quite happy having these. I would have liked, of course, I would have liked one of the gunships because then you get a lot of worth for your money. But this is still worth for my money, and I will probably buy from you again, Republicbricks, or buy from Republicbricks again. But this time I'll wait a little longer than my last time, so you'll probably see me next month talking about this again. But that's it for the video. If you like these sets, then you should try to get them because they're quite interesting. Getting more, I would say, don't get the black one because it's purely black, but you should get like one of them, and from that point on you can use the instructions to make your own, or at least that's what I will be doing. So that's it for the video. If you liked it, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.